What's going on, everybody? It's your boy ACGL Scar, and I'm actually with yet another ACGL breakdown. Today I'm joined by one of Nixuh's Pro COD players, one that you definitely need to keep an eye on, and one that is really starting to make waves in the COD scene. Please join me in welcoming my guest, Bibs. Bibs, how are you doing today, homie?
How's it, Scar? How are you doing?
I'm doing absolutely fantastic. Thank you for joining me today. It's such a pleasure to have this chat with you. So I want you to take this opportunity to sort of introduce yourself and, let the viewers know who you are, what you're all about. Who is Bibs?
So basically, I'm obviously like a pro player for Nixa. I play COD.
Yeah.
I've been playing at a high level for about maybe 2 to 3 years now, and my come up was quite difficult. It was a lot more, one of the harder ones than some other players, I would say. So I started competing when I was 15 in Black Ops 3 actually.
Oh, okay.
And I was 15 years old. I just got into proper competitive, because before that everyone was playing like Black Ops 2 League play.
Yeah.
So that was obviously a lot of fun, and that's where my love for comp even grew more.
Yeah.
And obviously I was a huge fan of Scump, and I always used to watch Scump. So I was like, this is something really sick. I want to get into it. Unfortunately, obviously with school and different priorities, I had to obviously take a break.
Yeah.
I actually only came back when COVID hit. In 2020, I came back. So it's like a 4-year break from COD, and I came back in 2020. And at that point, you know what they say, you need context to get into certain teams. And I mean, in general, context will always help you get into anywhere in life. So even though I had context, no one really knew my background story for how good I was. So I literally just made up my own team with some mates. And it wasn't a serious team, but we still played comp, and we actually were doing pretty well.
Yeah.
The following year, I got picked up by Astra, which obviously background story on that. Astra's probably one of the most
one of the notable,
one of the most renowned COD names you can have in ZA COD.
Definitely.
So that was really sick to get picked up by them, and I got to team with Cal Frosty, and that guy's been one of my idol players ever since I was a kid. So that was really sick. And I gained a lot of experience in that year, because I was teaming with high caliber players now.
Yeah.
And I took all of that, and when I joined Nixa, I applied everything I learned in the Cold War year, which was obviously 2021.
Yeah.
So it was a really exciting year this year. I think I popped off really well. I put a lot of work into it, and I was really proud of what I accomplished, because in a very short amount of time I got probably noticed as one of the best players alongside Dylan. I think if you had to ask anyone in that Vanguard year or this Vanguard year, we were the best players, and it was a super humbling feeling, because I knew where I came from and where I am now.
Yeah.
So I think that's very important for anyone actually when they start out. Don't ever forget how hard it was, and that you should always appreciate it. So yeah.
I mean, that is quite a humbling story to listen to, and I really, I love how it's sort of like a come-up story. You saw, you said you watched the Scump a lot, and it's maybe you wanted to get to that level as well, and you sort of told yourself that you want to start sort of grinding to that. You want to be, make yourself, make something out of yourself, that being trying to be the best at COD. And I mean, definitely people do recognize you as one of the best, and it's also great to know that despite all of that, despite how much you've been grinding and how notable you may be, you still have that sense of modesty, or that sense of humility in you, to just understand that I've been doing well, but you got to stay humble at the same time, because I feel like that's sort of what also takes you far as a player, just having that sense of humility, or just being humble a lot of the time. And definitely I feel like that might have been also what's really brought you this far. But thank you so much for that, man. I appreciate that. Do you have anything to add to that?
Oh yeah, no, I was gonna say, when I was still saying it was hard, obviously a lot of players, they like teaming with certain players. I was actually gonna say this for more of the upcoming talents, more of the new people coming to the scene. It's not gonna happen overnight. I really had to grind and get to where I am now. Noticeable talent will never go unnoticed. So just keep grinding, and eventually you will get picked up by a top team, or make contacts along the way and make friends, and they're gonna want to play with you. So don't ever stop, ever feel like you're not good enough. I got told I was never good enough from the moment I started competing, and I always knew how good I was. I was just never put in the right situation with the right team. And I think with the team I joined last year, and the current one now, we all gel together, and it's really good. So that's just my advice as well. Like, you know, don't ever stop because people are telling you that you're not good enough. Just prove everyone wrong and just shut everyone up. So yeah.
Beautiful stuff, and thank you so much for that. I mean, you couldn't have started the show any better. But you know, moving on, you know, I just want to know, but you kind of sort of mentioned it, you know, you said you've been competing for almost, you know, 2 to 3 years now, but you know, with all that you've, like, with all the experience that you've got, you know, with how far you've come, you know, walk us through how your journey has actually been through, you know, competitive COD, you know, from the time you started till this point in time. Like, you know, has it been a grueling grind? You know, how has it been for you?
Oh, I've loved every second of it. I think, you know, ever since, like I said, I was 15, you know, watching Cal Frosty play, like I always told myself, like, I can't imagine being that good at a video game. Like, he was unbelievable. I mean, I'm so grateful that I'm such good mates with, like, Cal Frosty, Lithium, Raz is also a huge name. So, like, there's a lot of really good players that I never ever thought I would ever be able to team with, let alone play against, you know. And I think teaming with Cal really boosted my confidence, and it really, you know, that was like one step through the door, and the hard work and my talent was obviously like walking through it. Like, I really had to prove myself that I am capable of teaming with players like that, and I think I did prove that. I mean, this past season was amazing. I'd say my competitive journey so far hasn't been grueling, or I've loved every second of it. It hasn't been easy, obviously. I mean, every single team has ups and downs. That's pretty normal. I mean, if your team's always doing well, when you guys hit a slump, you don't know how to regain from that, and that's not very good. So yeah, our team has also had like the highest of highs and the lowest of lows. Like, and now it's a new COD. So in this game, like, there's moments where we're like the best team in the game by far, and there's moments where we're like a top 10 team. Like, so we're just trying to find that consistency right now. I always believe that scrims and all of those things are important, but don't ever feel like they like outweigh, you know, everything else. Like, scrims are important to like get better as a team, because I feel like once you do that, because I mean, COD is always so entertaining when someone gets a 3-piece or 4-piece, and then like you get up and you're screaming at like your opponents and you're getting hyped with your team.
Yeah.
Like, that's me, you know. And yeah, no, I think these past few scrims that we're having lately with the team, we obviously fine-tuning everything for the LAN. So I think we have a really good shot at winning that. Right now, we're just trying to focus more on the teamwork of things, and by LAN time, we're obviously gonna do our individual thing popping off, but like teamwork will obviously get us that win. So we're just working on that while making individual plays.
Fantastic stuff. You know, I was actually we'll get more into the LAN later, but you just actually started, you know, kind of diving into my next question. You know, walk me through how your journey with the Nixuh COD team has been, you know, from the first day till this current day. Because I mean, you did mention, you know, it was kind of hard for you to sort of get into the scene, and then at some point you at least, you know, landed up yourself in Astra. I mean, Astra is one of the notable COD orgs. I mean, anytime you mention Astra in COD, everyone knows the history or backstory behind it. And then you ended up now in Nixa. But I just want to know, like, how has that journey been with this new Nixa team?
You know, just a shout out to Dale and Jason. They obviously the owners of Nixa. I wouldn't even be nowhere near where I am right now without them. Like, I love those guys so much, and they do so much for us. Like, I probably could never ever repay them. Even if I become a pro player and I'm like, let's say I'm like the best player in the world, like, I'll always tell them, like, those two really got me to where I am right now. So obviously my journey, like, obviously after the Astra team, where things weren't really working out, so immediately, like, the Nixa guys just wanted me there. And at that point, Nixa didn't even have like 100 followers on Twitter. I obviously knew how much effort they put into their players and the org itself, and those are the type of people I wanted to work with. So from the get-go, the first tournament in Vanguard, we were absolutely smoking people. Like, we were doing really well as a team. Chemistry was there. We were barely scrimming, and there was just natural chemistry between us. And we were doing so well. We actually beat one of the reigning champs for like 2 years. We beat them, and then that's when we really popped off. The whole of Vanguard, we were placing second and third. A lot of heartbreaking losses for like a second. Like, I can't even tell you how close we were to winning a chip. I mean, obviously I don't consider online tournaments chips, but yeah, we were just so close to winning those tournaments. The ones we even came third in, I don't know how much you know about COD, but we would lose game 5 round 11s in S&D. Like that's how close we were to, like, you know, coming through to a second and finishing the tournament, or like yeah, because I mean it was rough in the sense where every single top 5 team, because every single top 5 team said that we were like 5th in the beginning of the game. Even when we beat the reigning champs, like they all said we were like 5th on that list.
They didn't really rate you guys enough.
Yeah, they didn't. They thought it was like a fluke. So yeah, every single tournament we placed, we just kept proving everyone wrong. The one tournament actually, we were in the grand final. No, not the winners finals, and then our teammate timed out when we were 2 up in the map count. So he didn't come right in time because he had to actually go to Butta's house, our owner, so that he could actually try and play the maps. Even though we were gonna get forfeited 1 or 2 maps for coming late, that's okay, you know. But they just forfeited us the whole series. Obviously I won't mention the organization's names because I mean I don't want to do that, but they forfeited us. So yeah, we had to go to losers bracket. We won that losers bracket. Then we went to winners. Then we won that. No, we lost the grand finals. Sorry, we lost grand finals because we got forfeited in winners. So yeah, we like I'm not talking about those things as like oh that's why we lost, but just some heartbreaking losses, you know. But yeah, no, it's been super fun, bro. Like my journey with Nixa, I can't even tell you how much these guys. I'm not even contracted. Like I could leave right now to join another team, but I've been staying here the whole time because I don't want to leave. So yeah.
I mean, I think that's the beauty of it, is that, well, first of all, one, the fact that you've sort of found a home where you feel like you're appreciated, you feel like, you know, these people really care about seeing you grow. And I think I definitely can see that coming from the side of Nixa, seeing that they do want to see their players grow, their teams grow, because I mean, I feel anytime a team really has been a part of them, you know, it's not really been a regression, it's sort of been a thing of we moving forward, we're trying to grow. And I think that's what I really love to see coming from the side of Nixa, is that they always want to progress forward. And I really
like we like I literally joined Nixa as soon as it started. Like the amount Nixa has grown in like 1 year is unbelievable. I can't even explain it.
Yeah, I mean that's fantastic. And I mean the fact that as well, you know, your team sort of suffered all those heartbreaking losses, but I mean for you guys to still come back, for you guys to still perform the way you do now, and to keep, you know, trying to improve, grow, and reach for the top, I think that really goes to show why, you know, you guys are still doing as well as you are now, and that's why it's only going to be up for you guys going forward.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
But yeah, recently you posted a clip from FaZe Zuma's stream where you and Lithium, you played in a team that absolutely hammered Zuma's team, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you guys even had accusations of your team cheating, but
they were accusing me as well. Yeah.
But it's like, but I think it's moments like this that start to put COD on South African COD on notice, because it's these little things where people start to realize, you know, what we have to offer or what our players can do. And I just want you to sort of, you know, give us an idea of what your thoughts are on ZA COD talent needing to be recognized by more people overseas, not just locally.
Okay, that's obviously a good question. In the this Vanguard season, an EU organization called ACGL actually approached our scene, and they told us that we could compete with their top EU teams. It wasn't like pro players in those teams, but it's like you know, EU players. Like it's like our scene, but it's like their scene with, you know. And obviously the first rule was that we have to play on their servers. So regardless, we were gonna play on 200 ping. It's like a non-negotiable.
Yeah.
So we had a select few teams that were competing against them, and the scores were like neck on neck. And the fact that we were on like 250 ping was mind-blowing to me. The fact that the games were that close, and all these players are like 6 to 20 ping. You know, they're not in bad connection. So they had like, yeah, no, it was really close games. And obviously all those games were streamed, by the way. So all those games were streamed by like top EU casters. And we're really getting out there, and a lot of people are like, oh, this SAC, and is like, it's nuts. Like the fact that they're playing in 250 ping and competing with our teams. Imagine they were on 6 ping and we were on 250 ping, stuff like that, you know.
Yeah.
So it was super sick. It was super humbling, obviously playing in front of a different audience, like on stream like that. Obviously what happened with Zuma was insane. Like, you know, Lithium and I, like, we were just chilling, and yeah, and then we obviously saw his stream, and one thing led to another. Then we were in the lobby playing against Zuma. We told him we were on 200 ping, and first he was like, well, you guys can play. I'm not sure how bad the ping's gonna be, but you guys can play.
Hmm.
Then we obviously gave it our best shot. We were having fun with it. I told Dil, but like Dil and I spoke to each other. We were like, let's just smoke these guys. Let's just do it. And in that hotel map, 250 to 48 points. Like, I can't even tell you. Like, we literally were like, how did we just do that? Like, and every match before that, because he was just streaming random games against followers and subs.
Yeah.
So they were all joining the lobby. They were all getting smoked. All these guys on like 6 ping. Me and Dil, the only guys on 250 ping, and we like beat them badly. That's like the first map they lost in the whole stream, and they were like, dude, these guys on 250 ping, like, whoa, what are you guys doing? And Zuma's one of those guys where, you know, he's a definite idol to a lot of us SA players. Like, I can tell you now, I've been watching him since 2015. I absolutely love the guy. He's so funny, charismatic. Like, he's a really good player. And I know he means a lot to a lot of us here in SA. And for us to have done that on stream, and it just meant a lot to us, because remember, a lot of people don't really look at our scene.
Yeah.
So for Dylan and I to have played the way we did, and for them to have been like, you guys are hacking, and Zuma been like, wow, these guys are just good, it meant a lot to us, because if we played bad, it just goes unnoticed again. It's like, without even realizing it, what happened on when we played on that stream was kind of huge. Because even when I posted the tweet that I assume I'll get like 50 likes, something, it's pretty cool, I'll get like 50 likes. I went to bed, I opened my eyes, that thing was sitting on like 200, so I was like, okay, well, this is huge. Because even Zuma replied to it, he was like, it's so much fun playing against you guys. So, I mean, you know, we definitely left some kind of mark. I'm not saying this is like a gateway for us to get noticed a lot by other top international orgs and be like, well, we want these players to come play for us. I'm not saying that, but people talk, you know, and what happened on the stream is not unnoticeable. Like 48 points, like that's not something that goes unnoticed, especially against Zuma. So like,
I think you really explained it extremely well. And yeah, I mean, it may not be the entire gateway or the entire, you know, door that will just open up to the world of everyone understanding or noticing South African COD talent for what it really is, but it's sort of a stepping stone that leads towards that. It's little things like that that sort of lead to much bigger things as well, because I mean, obviously it's what we're doing is we're sort of running a race, and not really running a race, we're running a marathon rather, and that marathon is obviously trying to get the scene noticed. And you know, there's a saying that goes, you know, a marathon is not a sprint, right? You have to, you know, take your time, gradually get there bit by bit. And it's little moments like this where you played against Zuma, and you know, everyone got to see, you know, 250 ping players are beating guys on 6 to 20 ping. It's little moments where, you know, our games are being broadcasted, where we're playing EU teams, and people get to realize, you know, oh, these guys are actually really good. They're taking EU teams into map number 5, but they're on 200 ping. You know, how is that even possible? So I think it's little things like that that sort of lead to a lot more bigger things, and it's definitely stuff that is going to be memorable going forward. Fantastic stuff. But yeah, moving on is sort of Rage, right? With Rage around the corner, there's one thing on the minds of most COD guys, and that's going to be the C3ZA LAN. You kind of spoke a bit about it in the beginning, but I want to know, how are you and the guys feeling going into this LAN? You know, are you guys feeling excited, nervous, pumped? You know, what are the feelings and the preparations looking like on your guys' end?
Oh, I'm super excited. Like, we're all super excited to play this LAN. Obviously, like I said, I've never won any online tournament. So if I do win this chip, then I can say I'm not an online warrior. Then I've actually done this on LAN, you know? So, winning on LAN means everything to any competitor, where you CSGO, COD. If you win on LAN, that's where you need to win, because you can win everything online, be the best team online, but if you lose on LAN, it means all those wins mean nothing then, you know? Especially for me, like my come up's been really insane with no tournament wins. So if let's say I don't perform well at this LAN, all this hype and this come up is kind of for nothing then, you know? So I really also, because I know my capabilities and I know how well I can play at this LAN, because for my opinion on LAN is like, there's no excuse to not play well at LAN, because it's not only is a better version of the game, everyone's face to face, no one has like an internet advantage or some kind of advantage. Everyone can see what you're using and everyone's using the same stuff, so it's like, you know, I think it's very important to do well on LAN in that sense. You get the most recognition from LAN, so that's where you need to win it.
Fantastic stuff. I'm really excited to see what does come from the side of Nixuh COD come C3ZA land. But that's going to be it for most of my questions that I've had for you today. But I just want to know, do you have any final words or thoughts for the people that are watching you right now?
I just want to say thank you for all your support always. You know, whether you watch my streams or, you know, you follow Nixa and you support Nixa, like, it really does mean the world to us. Obviously with this COD land coming up, whether you support Viben, Aerial, DAO, doesn't matter what team you support, just coming through to the LAN and showing your support in general to the players and the orgs means a lot to us, because having a crowd makes the LAN, and yeah, I can't emphasize that enough. Like, a LAN with no crowd is nothing. Like, we might as well just have an online tournament at that point. So it doesn't matter what team you support, please pull through. It makes the LAN so much better, and the atmosphere is just so much better. So that's and yeah, last words for any upcoming players: don't ever give up. If this is what you love to do, don't ever stop, and don't take anyone's advice on how to play a game or what to do. Just do your thing and you'll make it. Like, if you have the talent, you'll always make it. So yeah, just work hard.
Fantastic stuff. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's been such a pleasure chatting to you, Bibs. But ladies and gentlemen, that's been the ACGL breakdown, and I guess we'll see you at the Rage Land. Take care, everyone.
Cheers.